Hello, this is GSR Kalyani. Good morning. Today we are going to discuss the next topics in Unit 4, TCL and the practical explanation of TCL and DCL commands and selection, projection, aggregate functions, group by having clause. Okay, let's start. Coming to the TCL, transaction control language commands. Actually, these commands are used to manage the operations in the transaction in the database. Okay, that means when you perform some changes in the changes by using some DML operations like insert, modify, insert, update, delete. Okay, actually all those uh, changes to be reflected in the transaction buffer only, not to the database. Okay, so in order to manage the changes made to the data in the table by DML statements, we are using transaction control long ways commands. Okay, actually there are three commands are there in this. One is commit, and next one is rollback, and next one is save point. Okay, so in order to save the changes to the database permanently from the transaction buffer, we have to apply commit command. Okay, if you don't want to those operations, that means if you want to cancel those operations or undo the operations, we can use rollback. Okay, and the save point is used to saves a transaction with the save point. Okay, first coming to the commit command. So commit command is used to save changes permanently to the database. Okay, already I have told you, when you are using any DML statements like insert, update, delete, the changes are made by the commands or not permanent. Those are reflected to the transaction buffer only. Okay, so if if you are not applying the commit command, though until if the current session is closed, the changes made by these commands can be rolled back or cancelled. Okay, so to avoid this and the changes you have done in the database tables, we apply commit command to save the changes. Whatever changes you have done on the database tables are reflected to the database permanently. Okay, so coming to the syntax, here just you type commit commit command at the SQL prompt. Okay, commit. And coming to the save point is used to temporarily save a transaction with the name so that you can roll back to that point whenever required. Okay, what is the syntax for this? You can, that means if you perform so many operations, if you want to save the transactions with the save point name, then you can roll back up to that point whenever required. Okay, what is the syntax for this? Save point space, and you can give a save point name. Okay, and coming to the rollback command, actually the rollback command is used to revert or cancel all the or undo all the changes you have done on the database objects up to until commit the changes to the database. Okay, the syntax is rollback. Just you press a rollback command at the SQL prompt. Okay. Okay, so what is the save point use? When you save the transaction operations by using the save point, okay, use by using the rollback, all the changes you can undo or cancel the changes up to that save point only. Okay, So what is the syntax for this? Rollback to save point name. Okay, normally say rollback, when you apply the rollback, all the changes are cancelled. Okay, so but when you roll back the operations by using the save point, you can undo or cancel the changes up to that save point only. Okay. Okay. So this is the example practical. Okay, this is how we are practically using the rollback and save points. This is the example for this. Now let me see how we are practically use the rollback and save point and commit commands. Okay. Okay. Just see this. I have already executed this example. Now I want to show here. Just follow what I'm just follow and note down carefully in your notes is also all these commands. Okay. Okay. So first of all, I want to here I'm using the one table CRR EMP table. Okay, first of all, I want to retrieve all the records from the CRR EMP. Select star from EMP. Okay, it shows how many records here, 15 records. Okay, then okay. So first of all, if I want to apply the save point to the transaction, first of all, you have to create the save point. Okay. So what is the syntax for this? Save point and the save point name. Here I am giving, I have created one save point with the name E10. Okay. Okay, so whatever transaction you have done after this save point creation, that will be saved with temporarily saved with the name E10. Okay, so now I have I want to delete the records from the CRR EMP table where department number equal to 10. Then how many records deleted? 3 rows deleted. Actually 15 rows, 3 rows deleted. Okay, next again for next transaction I have created here for another save point U20. Okay, save point created for update command. Okay, update CRR EMP set commission equal to 1000. Okay, already you know that in commission column there are so many null values are there. For so many employees there are no commission. Okay, just I have set 1000 by default, 1000 rupees for all employees. So just I applied update command here. So how many rows are updated? 12 rows updated. Okay. Now I created another save point E30. So for the command delete from CRR EMP where department number equal to 30. Okay. So above I have deleted the records who are employees who are belongs to the department 10. Now delete now just we delete the records where the department number equal to 30. Again 6 rows deleted. Here the 3 rows deleted. Here 6 rows deleted. Totally 9 rows deleted out of 15 rows. Okay. So again I have create another save point E20. Okay. So E20, another save point E20. Then for the delete command, delete from CRR EMP where department number equal to 20 also. Okay, now I delete all the delete the rows whose department number equal to 30. Again 5 rows deleted. Okay, totally after performing some transactions, just I want to show the records in CRR EMP. Select star from EMP. Out of 15 records, 14 records are deleted. Only one record is there. Okay. Now, by using the save points, I want to roll back the transactions. Okay, so roll back to E20. Okay, what happens here now? So E20 means it's a save point. E20 is the save point for the delete command, delete from EMP, where department equal to department number equal to 20. Okay, so only that transaction, that operation to be rolled back. Okay, so rollback complete. Now I want to show the records in CRR-EMP. I want to see select star from CRR-EMP. Then just you observe. Okay, here the 20 records again appear in the table. Okay, that means that operation is cancelled. Okay. Okay. So now roll back to E30. Okay. So E30 means up to E30 there are U20 also, one update command and one delete command. Okay, up to the save points, up to this save point, there are two transactions. One is update command and the next one is no. Okay, sorry. E20, E30. E30 means yes. Okay, E30 means it's a save point for delete star from delete from EMP where department number equal to 30. Again, that operation to be here rollback. Okay, so now I want to check the records in CRR EMP by using the select star from CRR EMP. Okay, now 30th department records and 20th department records again in the table. Okay, that means those two operations are to be undo by using the save point. Okay, 12 rows selected in the table. Now roll back to E10. Okay, so up to E10 there are two transactions. There are two operations. One is update operation and next one is delete the records from EMP where department number equal to 10. Okay, so when you are using the save point name, okay, up to that operations you have, whatever operations you have done, those operations are cancelled. So two operations are to be rolled back here. One is update command, okay, and next one is delete command. Delete when the department is equal to 10. Okay, just see this again. Okay, so commission in actually we have updated 1000 in the commission value. That operation also to be cancelled. That operation also cancelled here. Okay, and also it shows all the records, all the employees who are in the department 10 also. Okay, now 15 rows selected. That means whatever operations you have done, those are cancelled. Those are undo. Okay, by using the rollback and save point. Okay, so now I apply commit command here. Okay, that means all those records are permanently saved to the database. Now the changes are applied to the database. Okay, commit select star from EMP. There are 15 rows. Those 15 rows are to be applied to the EMP table permanently. Then now I applied the rollback command. Okay, after commit, if you apply the rollback command, you rollback command, but you never undo the changes. Okay, just let me check. Select star from CRRMP. Again, it shows the 15 records. Okay, this is the practical explanation of how we are using rollback and save points. Okay, okay. Okay, coming to the DCL, data control language commands. Uh, um, Actually, when you are using the Oracle DBA, database administrator is the main person. Okay, he's the whole and sole person, and he's the responsible for creating, granting privileges to the users for doing whatever operations on the database objects. Okay, so data control language commands are used to control privileges in the database. Okay, like creating tables, sequences, user need privileges, like that. Privileges are two types. One is system privileges and next one is object privileges. Okay, system privileges includes like a creating session or table, and some other special type of privileges are there. Privileges are nothing but rights. Okay, and coming to the object means includes permission for any command or query to perform any operations like insert operation, delete operation, modify operation, like that. If you want to do any operations on the database objects, first of all you have granted a permission from the DBA. Okay, then only you can do all the operations in the database objects. Okay, so there are two commands are there. One is grant and next one is revoke. Okay, so used to grant is used to provide privileges or rights to any access to the user for the database. We are using the grant command. Okay, revoke means those are revert the whatever permissions you have, permissions granted by the Oracle administrator. Okay, so that means used to taken back permissions from the user, used to cancel or revert the permissions which are given by the DBA. We are using the revoke command. Okay, just see one example for this. First of all, if you want to, the DBA want to allows a user to create a table, he has to provide, he has to give a uh, permission for the table creation to that particular user. Okay, like with this command grant create table to user name. Okay, and allow a user to perform DML operations on the data in the tables. Okay, so like grant connect comma resources to username identified by password. Okay, this is not for this is for connecting all the resources to the user. Okay, not for performing DML operations. Okay, and coming. Okay, so connect. Okay, so allow a user to perform DML operations on the data in the tables. Okay, for that we are using DBA has to grant connect comma resources to username identified by password. Okay, likewise the DBA responsibility to provide all the privileges or access permissions to the user. Okay, and to taken back the permissions we are using the revoke command. Okay, if you want to taken back the create table permission from the username, you are using the revoke create table from username. Okay, okay, so let us take one important EMP table example for all other operations examples. Okay, and coming to the next operation, selection operation. What is the selection operation? Actually, for select command, already in DML commands, I have explained select command thoroughly. In your textbook, there are some headings are there, selection and projection operation. For that, I'm repeating this topic here. Okay, so selection operation. So selection operation is nothing but is used to select records from the table. It performs record wise filtering from the table. Okay, so if you want to retrieve the records from the table, we are using the select command. That operation is known as select operation. Okay, Finally, the select command is used to retrieve data or retrieve rows from the database tables. That's why it's known as a record-wise filtering from the table. So just see this syntax. Select star from table where condition. Here the star means all the columns. Okay. Here the record-wise filtering from the table. That's why you are using star. Select star from table where condition. And one more thing you must remember, students. Whenever you enclosed square braces in the syntax, okay, it will be it's an optional. If you want that operation, you can use, otherwise just you omit that part. Okay. Okay, so selection operation and follow for this thoroughly in the previous video select command also. Okay. Select operation to select all the records will all the columns from the table. Just the syntax is select star from table name. Okay, and to select already I have seen I have show you all these examples practically in the previous video. Just follow this. Okay, follow that. And to select specified records from the table, just we are using the where condition in the select command. Select star from table name and you have to write the where condition. Okay, now how we are writing the where condition. Okay, so where condition means you have to write the after the where clause you have to write the column name. Okay, and next you have to write the operator and you have to next write to the expression or value. Okay, this is the example. I want to select all the employees where department number equal to 10. Okay, that means I want to know the employees who are working in the department 10. Okay, then you used to write like this. Okay, coming to the projection operation. So what is the projection operation? Projection operation is used to retrieve columns from the table. Okay, that means it performs column wise filtering from the table. Okay, it's a difference between the selection and the projection. Selection means performs row wise filtering, whereas projection performs column wise filtering from the table. Okay, just see this syntax. Select and distinct clause also used with the column. Okay, this is optional. If you want you can, otherwise it's omit. Okay, distinct of column 1 comma column 2 so on column n from table name and where condition. Where condition is also optional. Okay, if you want. Okay, and coming to the first one, to select all the records with the specified columns from the table. Okay, all records with specified columns. Then you are using syntax like this. Select column list from table 1. Okay. So how many columns you want to retrieve from the table? Those column names are to be mentioned after the select command. Now I project employee number comma name from EMP table. Okay. That's why I used to write here only 2 columns after the select command. Select employee number comma e name from EMP. Okay. And coming to this, to select specified columns from the specified records from the table. Okay, that means I want to retrieve specified columns from only some records, not from all records. Okay, so that's why we are using the where clause in the syntax. Select column list from table name where condition. Okay, just this example. I want to project employee number and e-name of employee who are working as a clerk. Okay, that's why I used to write the example like this. Select employee number comma e-name from EMP where job equal to clerk. Okay, just you observe how we are writing the condition here. The job is the column name, equal to is the operator and clerk is the value. Okay. Okay, this is how we are writing the where condition. Okay, and coming to select the different values from the column from the table. Okay, so when you are projecting column values, sometimes so many values are to be repeated in the column. Okay, so in order to retrieve different values from the column, we are using distinct clause with the column name in the select command. Okay, so just go through this syntax. Select distinct. Okay, here n missed. Okay, distinct distinct column name from table name where condition. Okay, what is the example for this? To know the job roles of your organization. Actually, when you are retrieving the job from EMP, it shows 14 and 15 entries, 14 or 15 entries. Okay, but when you are selecting the job projecting job column by using the uh, distinct clause, it shows only 5 entries. Why? Because clerk, analyst, salesman, president and manager, there are 5 roles are there. Okay. Okay. And coming to the next important one is uh, you have to assign alias names to columns or computed columns in the table. Okay. Alias names means a alternative name to the column name for that query only. Okay. So syntax select column name 1. Okay. Space you have to give alias name. Okay. So how you are giving alias name? Just after that column name you put a space and you have give you have write you have to write alias name. Okay. Comma column name to alias name from table name where condition and the remaining is as usual in the syntax. Okay, just you observe select employee number. Okay, I want to print the employee number column as employee ID, so that's why I provide here one alternative name to this column employee number. Okay, a comma e name. For the e name just provide one provided alias name like employee name, manager MGR, manager. Okay, for the MGR column I want to show it as manager, that's why alias name or duplicate alternative name provided for MGR as manager from EMP. Just see this output. Okay, so employee number, e name, manager columns are displayed with their alias names. Okay. Okay, so let me show. Already I showed you practically all the examples of selection and projection in the previous video. Okay, now I want to show only 2 examples for the distinct clause and alias. Okay, just see how it works. Okay, so if you select a job from EMP, it displays 15 entries. You see this 15 rows selected. Okay, if you want to eliminate the duplicate values from the column list while retrieving, then you can use distinct clause with the column name. Okay, so that's why select distinct comma job from EMP. Okay, so how many entries it shows? Only 5 entries. Okay, this is the how we are using the distinct clause. Okay, and coming to alias names here, assigned one alias name employee number from for EMP number column from EMP where job equal to clerk. Of course, if you want you can write the where condition, otherwise you can omit. Okay. Okay, then it shows instead of showing the employee number column name, it shows the alias name employee number. Okay, this is aliasing, column aliasing. We can provide duplicate names to the columns also. Okay. Okay. So coming to the next important topic, aggregate functions or group functions. Okay. Okay, so aggregate functions are also called as group functions. Actually, those are Oracle built-in SQL functions. Okay, these functions, what is the specialty of these functions? These functions are operate on group of rows or group of values and return only one value for the entire group of tables. Okay, that means it provides a summarized result for group of values. Okay, and there are so many types of aggregate functions are there, and one is sum function, count, sum. Okay, just repeated two times here. One is sum function, and second one is count, and third one is max, fourth one is minimum, and next one is average. There are 5 functions. Okay, here the sum is repeated here. Okay, and coming to the count function. What is the count function? Actually, this count function returns the total number of, it counts the total number of rows are presented in the table. Okay, so whenever if you specify the where condition along with this count function, then it returns the number of rows in the table that satisfies the condition specified in the where clause. Okay, in this count function, there are 2 functions are there. There are 2 forms are there. The first form is count of star. Okay, star means it counts or then it returns the total number of rows presented in the table. Okay, just see the syntax. Select count of star from table name, then it shows 14 records. Okay, if there are 14 records, it shows 14. If there are 15 records, it shows 15 records. Okay, and the second form is count of distinct of attribute name. Okay, so when you are using the count function, when you are passing a parameter attribute name in the count function, okay, it returns the number of not null values in that specified column. Okay, so when you are using the distinct column, only it counts not null values and also different values in the particular attribute name. Okay, just see this example. Okay, select count of department number. Departments, it's a alias name. Just I providing alias name. Okay, from EMP. Okay, I want to know how many departments in the employee table. Okay, if you are counting department number column by using the count function, it shows 14. Okay, now if you are using the distinct column, when you are using the distinct column before the department number, then it only counts it shows only 3. Okay, actually there are 3 jobs, 3 departments are there, 10, 20 and 30. Okay, that's why used to write like this. And coming to sum function. Okay, so sum function returns the total sum of values for the specified column or attribute. Okay, for example, if you want to calculate the overall amount paid for all employees in the employee table, then you used to write like this: sum select sum of sal from EMP. Okay, na? Then it returns all the salaries paid to the employee for each month. Okay, and coming to maximum function, so this function returns the maximum value of specified list of items. Okay, then if you want to know the maximum salary paid to the employee from the employee table, you used to write like this. Just go through this syntax. Select maximum of column name from table name. Okay, so what is the example? Select maximum of salary from EMP. What is the maximum sal in the EMP table? 5,000. Okay, and minimum table. Minimum returns the minimum value from the selected attribute or specified attribute. Okay, and what is the syntax for this? Select, you have to write the min function and you have to provide one column name from table name. Okay, select min of sal from EMP, then it shows 800. Okay, what is the minimum salary in the employee table? 800. Maximum salary is 5000. Okay, and coming to the average function. This function returns the average of given or selected column values. Okay, I want to know what is the average salary paid to each employee in the employee number. Then you apply the average function to this salary column from table name. So select average of sal from EMP. Okay, that it shows like this. Okay, so these are the aggregate functions. Aggregate functions are known as group functions. Okay, so let me explain, let me show. All these examples. Control C. Okay, you can execute multiple commands from the notepad to SQL environment also. First of all, you have to write all those commands in the notepad. Just you select the group of commands and copy those commands, and coming to the SQL running environment, okay, and paste here. If there is no syntactic error, any command, it shows all the, it executes all the commands at once. Okay. 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 Just see this. Select sum of sal from EMP. Okay. So it shows the total salary, total amount in the salary column. Okay. Next, count star from EMP. Count star, what it returns? It returns the number of rows. Okay, in EMP table there are 15 rows are there. That's why it returns 15. And select the count of department number. Departments from EMP. Okay, it's a alias name. And count of department number. It shows how many values? 14. Actually, for one employee, last employee, no department is assigned. Okay, that's why it only shows, it only counts not null values. That's why it shows 14 out of 15 records. Okay, and select distinct of job from EMP. Okay, now it shows only distinct values in the job column. Okay, and coming to the count distinct of column name. So it count the distinct values in the department number from EMP table. So it shows how many department numbers are there? Only 3 records. 3. Okay. Now, okay, it's a maximum salary function, it's a minimum salary function, it's an average salary function. Just I showed in only one example. It shows 5000 as a maximum salary, minimum salary 8000, and average salary is like this. Okay, this is how practically we are implementing aggregate functions or group functions. These are very useful and important question. Okay. Okay, coming to group by having clause. Okay, actually in group functions, all the data in the columns are treated as one group. Okay, and group by data, grouping of data is very important. Uh, if you want to categorize the data, or if you want to divide the data as groups, we are using the group by clause in the select statement. Okay, that means it divides the table into small groups depending upon one value, like in employee table, those so many employees are there who are working in different departments. Okay, now I want to divide those rows as per the department number. That means the employees who are working in the department number 10, who are working in the department 20, who are working in the department 30. So if you want to divide the rows into smaller groups, we are using group by clause. Okay, so when you are using the group by clause, only you can use group functions with that. Okay, that means you want to know the minimum salary or maximum salary or average salary or sum of the salary by department wise. Okay, I want to show the minimum salary, average salary, and maximum salary in the department 10 or in the department 20 or in the department 30. Okay, likewise if you want to divide the groups in the table, then you are using group by clause. Just see this syntax: select, column, comma, group function name. Okay, group function, we are using only group functions with the group by clause. Okay, why? Because group functions returns only the summarized result. Okay, that's why no single column allowed to retrieve with this. Only you have to use the column. Those are used in the group by expression. Okay, okay, so let me explain clearly. Select, column, comma, group function of column from table, where condition. If you want, you can write where condition. Next, group by expression, or it's a column name or a group by expression. Next, order by column. Okay, actually this is not optional, this is necessary. This is compulsory. Group by is compulsory. No need to put in the square brackets. Okay, and example, just coming to the example, calculate the total salary of each department. Okay, now select department number, comma, sum of sal. Okay, here it's a group function. I want to calculate the sum of salaries from EMP department wise. I want to know the total salary for each department. That's why I want to divide those rows, I want to group those records by department number. That's why I am writing here the group by clause. Group by, there must be a space between the group and by, and next you have to write one column name, department number. Okay, only this column only you have to select in the select command. Okay, no other single columns are allowed in the output. Okay, why? Because if you mention the single column, it returns 14 values. But when you are using group functions, it returns only summarized values. Okay, okay, just observe this carefully. Then it shows the department number 10, 20, 30. In 10th department, the sum of sal equal to 8,750, like this. Okay, so if you want to grouping the data, you are using group by functions. Okay, just see this next diagram, next example. I want to know the maximum salary for each department, then department number, comma, max of sal from EMP, group by department number. Okay, 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 okay. In normal query, normal select query, if you want to put any conditions, you are using the where clause. Okay, uh, actually to restrict the rows in the output, you are using the where condition or where clause in the select query. Whereas if you restrict groups, you are using having clause along with the group by. Okay, just see the syntax. See this syntax: select, column, comma, group function from table name, where condition, group by, group expression, having group condition, order by column. Okay, just see this example, then you can understand well. Okay, to find the maximum salary for each department, but only shows what is the condition in grouping. Show only the departments that have a maximum salary of more than 2,900. Okay, then you can write like this: select department number, comma, maximum sal from EMP. Okay, group by department number. In that grouping, if you want to put any restrictions, you are using the having clause with the along with group by clause. Okay, group by department number, and having. So what is the condition here? The maximum salary greater than 2,900. So maximum sal greater than 2,900. Just it displays like this. Okay. So when you are when you want to put any restrictions on the grouping of data, you are using having clause with the group by along with the group by clause. Okay. Let me show the practical implementation. Okay, just Control C. Control V. Then all these three commands are executed. Okay. Okay, just see this. Select department number, comma, sum of sal. I want to know the sum of salaries department wise. Okay, from EMP group by department number. Okay, so whatever column you are using in the group by column, if you are using in the select command, it shows the departments also. Okay, so department 10, 20, 30, here the sum of the salaries. Okay, here the null value, one record is there, no one employee is there, 15th employee. For this employee, no department assigned at. Okay, that's why it's a department number. In that department number, it had a null value. Okay, so it is also taken as one special group. Okay, that's why it displays like that. Department number is null and the sum of sal equal to 3,400. Okay, and select department number comma maximum sal from EMP group by department number. Okay, it's a maximum salary. It shows the maximum salary department wise. Okay, if you want to put any restrictions on the group on grouping of data, we are using the having clause, having the maximum salary greater than 2,900. Just see this example. Okay, in this, these three columns satisfies this condition. That's why these three rows are to be written as a result. Okay, this is how we are using the group by clause. Group by clause and with having. Okay. Okay, just see this another example. List the total salary, maximum and minimum salary and average salary of each employee jobs wise for department 20. Okay, and displays only those rows having average salary greater than 1,000. Okay, just see this. Select job comma, okay, sum of sal. So I want to group those records job wise. Okay, that's why here I am used to write the job column, job comma, sum of sal, average of sal, maximum of sal, minimum of sal from EMP, where department number equal to 30. Okay, group by job having the average salary greater than 1,000. Okay, if before writing the query, first of all you have understand what we need to retrieve, what we need to display, what are the conditions. If you understand all these things, it's very easy to write an SQL query in Oracle. Okay, so just to see this example, job, there are a sum of sal, average of sal, maximum of sal, minimum of sal. Just observe the having condition. What is the having condition? Max average sal greater than 1,000. You observe. Okay, those values are greater than 1,000. Okay, and only in the department number 20. Okay, and your department 20, there are two jobs, analyst and manager, and sum of sal, average of sal, maximum sal, minimum sal from EMP. Okay, select job comma, okay, sum of sal comma, average of sal from EMP where department number equal to 20, group by job having averages of sal greater than 2000. Okay, let's see this example. And reference, coming to the reference textbooks, so many reference textbooks for Oracle. I followed one of the reference textbook, Fundamentals of Relational Database Management Systems, under the authors are Sri Shumati S and Sri Isaki Rajan S. Okay, and any questions, just listen carefully what I'm saying in the YouTube, and note down each and every query and result also, students. Then only you can understand. Okay, follow thoroughly. Okay, if you have any questions, just contact me to clarify your doubts, and I'll give you all the questions at the end of this chapter. Okay, thank you.